Okay, great, everybody. Well, we should get going then. Thanks so much for making these movies and joining us here for a little bit of a filmmaker talkback where we can talk about your process and how these films came
Go.
to
I
be.
gotta concentrate.
What I wanted to do was to just go down the films and first of all introduce yourself, say what film you're from, and give one sentence to describe your filmmaking weekend. Let's start. We're just going to go down the order that the films actually screened. So, Alexander Cronin, you're first. So you're muted right now, but if you can get unmuted, FOP. There you
Can you
go.
hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. What was that? I'm Alex Cronin. I'm with Long October Productions. We made the Secret Ingredient, which is the first movie that I played. We had a great time this weekend. Really, what our weekend was is just like reuniting with friends that we haven't gotten to hang out with. We took like a year off of the 48 too, so it's kind of like we haven't seen each other and got to like do this in a long time, so it was great. One line about what our film's about. It's about like remembering your family and remembering like where you come from, I guess, like something like that I would say.
Nice. Next up, Walter Lewis. There you are, Walter.
Hello, everyone. My name is Walter Lewis, and I'm with Inner Real Productions. And I think our weekend, to describe it, it was just a lot of fun. Just shot the film with the family, and so just lots of laughter with the kids. And I think our film was really trying to just take a fun spin on mystery.
Nice. Dan Montgomery, are you with us?
Yeah, definitely here. So yeah, Dan Montgomery with Spark Films, and the film we did was The Cookie Jars. And if I could describe our weekend in one word, it would be, well, in a sentence, it would just be straight up teamwork.
Nice.
But yeah, rock and roll, man.
Next up, Alan. I think Alan Adams. You're next.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm Alan Adams with Adams Apple Creative, and to describe our weekend, just chaos, but fun chaos, organized chaos, but a little bit of disorganized chaos. And to describe our film, the film, it started from one word. The word I was thinking of was closer. That's kind of the way my mind works. And a plot came from that. And we took a lot of what's going on in the world and tensions and things, and that's close to my heart. And I just kind of stuck it out there. And then when we got dark comedy, we had to kind of switch it dark, and it was great fun to do that. And one of the takeaways I've learned from this weekend is to really trust your actors. Don't over direct them, like give them a vision, but they have these talents that they bring. And man, they really brought it. And it was so fun to watch them do what they do, almost to the point where it distracted me while filming, because they were so much fun to watch. Yeah.
Nice. Jeff Smee couldn't join us, but and Morgan Weir. Morgan's not with us, is she? No. All right. Well then, how about Megan Kollek?
Hi, that's me. So our movie made by Dumpstar Media, so that's me and my filmmaking partners, and we had La Santa Mierda, which is the holy shit in Spanish. And so yeah, we were assigned telenovela, and that was, we were very excited. I think I turned off my camera and screamed when we got that. And this was our first 48 filmmaking competition, so we learned a lot. It was definitely challenging. It was definitely humbling, and but now like we're ready for you guys next year. Yeah. So yeah, one thing that we kept thinking all weekend was I wish we had more time, and that was kind of like the mantra, I guess. Like we didn't mean it to be, but the whole going into this, like the only thing that we really wanted to do was to have fun, and we did that, and like we're still laughing at our stuff. So so yeah, we achieved our goals.
Nice. Josh Gardner, you're not with us, are you, Josh? Okay. Um, Christian Abbott couldn't be with us, but Jennifer Springle is, and she is like the co-lead for their team. Go ahead, Jen. Tell us, introduce yourself and tell us the film you're from, and give us one brief thing about it.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Springle, and my team was EXP Entertainment. And I agree with Alan. It was fun to watch my actors because honestly, what you see in the movie was not what we had on the page. Our actors did a lot of improv, and it was brilliant. And like Dumpstar Media, it was my first 48 as well. So I was really proud of our film, and I thought our actors just really blew it out of the water.
I agree, Jen. I like your movie. Jason Boyer, are you with us? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are here.
Wait. Can you hear us? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you down there. Okay. Yeah, I can
I'm not
hear
sure
you.
if you can see us, but can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's half good.
Yep.
So what can you tell us, Jason, about your film?
It's called The Entrails of Our Mind.
Yes. We were going for drama, but even though we snuck in a little bit of dark comedy there, which I hope everyone was cool with.
Sorry, that's my
Yeah.
But
Man, big congrats to all the teams and a lot of the new teams. It was really cool to see a lot of new teams compete this year. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Jackie Druga, are you with us? Not right now. And of course, last but not least, Ben Wilson.
Hey, yeah, I'm Benjamin Wilson, Team Bit-Sized Productions. Our film was Past the Worst. If I had to describe our weekend in a word, I think that word would be driven. I was unbelievably blown away and proud of just the attitude and the hustle that every single member of our team brought from minute one to the very end. Everyone was giving it 110%. Every department, executed to their maximum capacity. And that was very much, I know for myself and for a few of my fellow team members who last year was our first year doing this. Our goal this year was really to kind of improve on our workflow and methodology from last year, really create a polished, finished product. And I honestly couldn't be happier with how it came out.
Nice. Let's work our way around and talk about, some of you have already, but talk about where this idea came from, where your idea for your film came from, and how that sort of blossomed. Who would like to start?
Okay.
Sure, Alan.
I write songs too, and when I write songs, usually they start from a very small place and then they grow bigger. And I was sitting around thinking about words, and that was actually Thursday morning, and I was thinking about the word closer. It was in my mind, and I was thinking about socially distant. We can't be close. We're close to the edge of snapping on each other and breaking with all the political climate the way it is. Are we closer to being better people? I don't know. Maybe we are. I hope so. And so the idea came to mind about doing a film of like a dinner party. And it was just a plot idea. And I kind of put it on my Trello board as an idea, here's an idea. And then when we hit Friday night, and we spun the little wheel and we got the dark comedy, I said, you know what? I think we can make this film work. And then we started writing. And, we wanted to keep our film, we wanted the jokes to be political, but not go too deep down the rabbit hole. So we kept it very cliche with, like, we got to build that wall and all these things that you hear every single day. And we wanted to make a little bit of fun about it, to say, let's not take ourselves so seriously. And I think we did great fun at it. And the actors really enjoyed playing these parts. And and then when we had the therapist, it was supposed to be a positive ending where, like, are we getting any better as people? Well, we're getting closer. That was the idea in my head. Well, when we got dark comedy, I said, what if this therapist kind of got off on the fact that like he's helping them, but he's getting this kind of like twisted thing in return. And so somebody said, like during the filming, I think there's a German word for that. And one of our grips goes, yeah, it's Schadenfreude. I'm like, that's the name of the film. And so that's kind of how it was all born. And it's amazing what happens on these films as you're shooting. All this life starts being breathed into it, and you really get into this like creative nebulous, and everything just really starts happening. And it's almost like an aligning of the stars. We were really proud of this one. And again, getting back to trusting the actors, when the Bill guy, who is the therapist, he was my last guy. I've known this guy since I was 15 years old, and I didn't know he could act like that. And he really, when he said his lines, I know what I want to do with you. So that's kind of how that happened. But it was just really wonderful, really, really perfect. And we were able to keep it all in one place this year. We really wanted to do that for two reasons. With the COVID going on, we thought we could keep everything safe in one area, but also not shoot so big where it stressed everybody out and we were kind of tired by the end of the day. We were able to wrap shooting about 6:30, which gave us nice time to start the editing. So I learned a lot from last year. I'm still proud of it, but man, this one came together, and that's how our film was born.
Nice.
Yeah.
Someone else. Where did your idea come from, and how did it blossom? Go ahead, Jackie.
Oh, okay. Alan Adams, what was your movie? I'm sorry, I came in late because I was delayed. What was movie?
Oh, that's all right, honey. My movie was Schadenfreude, and if you see the picture, it's a guy. It's kind of creepy looking. We lit it kind of moody.
I did see it. It was where you got everybody together, started to plot, and they all started fighting, right?
Yeah, it was the therapeutic pillow fight at the end.
Yes, I did. I enjoyed all the movies. The question was what inspired us. That's like the world I live in. So I live in that world constantly, PJ, as you probably know.
Yeah, because your movie, just because you came in late, your movie was Breathe, the movie that's sort of post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, with the gas mask movie. Yeah, that was my movie. Because that's pretty much what I live and breathe, no pun intended towards my movie, but, because I wanted to do comedy, but I guess, challenged ourselves with doing something serious. And I used the music that I wrote as pretty much to escalate the editing, if that makes any sense. Like I edited to the music that I wrote.
Nice. Somebody else. How about Ben? How about you?
It's really funny trying to go back in my mind through our writer's room process and try to like trace the origins of the disparate parts that eventually made the whole of our movie, because we started out with a couple distinct ideas on like some of them were more plot related, some of them were more theme related. As soon as we kind of settled that we were going with time travel, I remember saying that the idea of playing with the emotion of grief was something that I would be really interested in tackling, both for just I like writing about that subject matter, but also because the kind of existential aspects of time travel, I feel like that's an emotion that, loss or nostalgia or anything to do with that is very, very easy to play with in that genre. But like we had an idea early on about doing this story of this like older and younger versions of themselves. That's how Celine and Kathy came into our mind from our acting pool, because we thought they looked enough alike that they could play older and younger versions of themselves. Instead, they ended up as mother and daughter. The whole having somebody in a hospital during COVID, so it's hard to like visit them idea. Our director had this whole thing where it's like, oh, what if like they couldn't be with the person that they loved when they were dying, so like they go back in time and go through medical school so they could be the nurse. So there's all those ideas that were good enough to be stories in their own, that kind of pieces from them all came together. The older and younger version, I think there was a variation on that where we had the idea, oh, what if it's like the younger version of someone singing a song at the beginning and then the older version singing at the end, or vice versa. And obviously we reincorporated that with the lullaby being sung by the mother at the beginning and then sung by the daughter at the end. So you know, it's almost cliche to say it was a team effort in putting the story together, but it really honestly was. I think most members of the writers' room can comfortably look and say some piece of my input was in that story. And again, we kind of boiled it all down to its base elements. And I really did enjoy the challenge of, once we kind of did decide we're going to do something more, I guess, not overly serious, but, you know, kind of heavy, some real emotions in there. How do you not only tackle that in a 48, which I think comedy is generally much easier to do than drama during a 48 from what I've seen. And secondly, how do you keep the more fantastical elements like time travel grounded enough to not have them take away from the emotional beats you're trying to hit? So the audience can decide how successful we were with that, but that's kind of how ours came from all these places and distilled into the movie you guys just watched.
Somebody else. That's great. Who else would like to talk?
I could talk for our film. You know, wanted to do something, you know, with my kids. It's probably been about 4 or 5 years since I've been in a 48-hour film festival, and never did it with my kids. They were just like young and watching when we filmed the last time. And so, yeah, I mean, when we got our themes, with one of our actors here, when we got our theme, it was really just about, the story kind of wrote itself. We were kind of talking about, you know, what we wanted to do. And then we sort of began building around the strengths of my kids. At first, I thought my 16-year-old was going to be Nora Key Gleason, but she was not interested in playing the lead role. And so then we had to write my 6-year-old as Nora Key Gleason. So we had a lot of fun with that. And then my favorite part is how we had to adjust on the fly, because the actors got tired and were really cranky. And so we had to make some plot adjustments in order to address the fact that there were a lot of scenes that we planned to shoot that we weren't able to shoot. So it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun working on the project.
Nice. Dan, I knew you were ready to talk. Tell us, Dan.
Yeah, man. All right. So with going into this was all of our first time doing this and all of our first time really shooting a short film. So it was all about prep work. And before we even went into the writing room, like weeks beforehand, I just was watching a ton of stuff and got really inspired by a lot of like Charlie Kaufman work and stuff like that, and just those visuals. So we went into it knowing already what visuals that we wanted to put onto the screen, whether that be aspect ratio or color grade or whatnot. So once we got our genres and whatnot, we kind of sat there and like, all right, do we want to go like really cheesy Hallmark, or do we want to kind of really explore more of what fantasy actually falls into? Because that's such a wide spectrum on what fantasy could be. So I was lucky enough to be around like fantastic writers, and we just had a really big, like a big brain session meeting going on, just spitballing everything while we had 2 writers writing down the script of what we were spitballing, and bada boom, bada bing, we got it written in like 3.5 hours. Then like bam, happy how it came out, wouldn't change a thing.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Who else would like to talk about how they took what their idea started at and how it blossomed?
Hey. Ours is kind of ET inspired, but R-rated. And instead of Reese's Pieces, you guys gave us cookies, so it was like great. Also, Alan, a friend of mine worked your set, whose name that PJ might recognize. Her name is Emily O'Black, and
Yeah.
she said that she's the one that threw out your title. So I wanted to kind of give her credit, even though she's not here. And when you said that, I was like, oh, that's my friend Emily. So
yeah, Emily was wonderful, and my head writer Lucas, and he had mentioned it, and I was like, yes, I've heard of it, and Emily yelled it out, and I said, Emily, wonderful, that's the name of the film. So that's what I mean, like the conglomerate of everybody pulling together, and you know, you do have team leaders and things, but it is really a village that makes this thing happen. And I couldn't be prouder of the entire team. Like I kudos to everyone. And I'm sure other teams feel the same way. You can't do it alone. It's a vision, but you need all the people to come together to pull it off. Even yelling out names like Schadenfreude.
Our team was, I was super proud of our team. We had a very small team because, you know, just with COVID, you didn't want to invite a whole bunch of people into our set. So we had 9 people altogether, and 3 of them were actors. but because of the just with COVID, our actors also did grip and they did PA, and one of our actors helped us write. So I was very lucky. I was very proud of our team, and I hope to work with them next year. Every single one of them just did an amazing job.
Who didn't get a chance to speak yet? Meg, did you get a chance to go? Jason, Lucas?
I'll go. Thank you. So, right, so when we got soap opera, telenovela, soap operas are great, but telenovelas are better. And just so happens that we had 3 writers. It was me and Alistair McQueen and Princess Jafar. And Princess Jafar and I both took Spanish in high school, but they remembered it much better than I did. But we both watched Destinos, a Spanish soap opera made for Americans learning Spanish. So we kind of took a lot of inspiration from that, and then ended up, I contacted my friend Yvette Spradlin, who's a great photographer here in Pittsburgh, who grew up watching telenovelas with her mother, and gave us, more information about just kind of like deeper themes and like superstition and everything. So then we took our kind of, classic dumpster media takes on everything. So like skid marks ended up being like a sign of the Virgin Mary, and like bringing the family together. So like playing with prayer and infidelity and the love triangle. So it all kind of came together in a fun way.
Nice. That's awesome. Anybody else have an answer for this question, or should we move on? Okay. Some of you talked about this, but just to make sure if somebody didn't get a chance to talk about this, biggest challenge over the weekend. Biggest challenge, you were like, I don't know if we can overcome this, or something that happened that you were like, oh my goodness, what was it? And how did you overcome it?
I'm gonna go with child actors. and then I think for me this year, having to like shoot, edit, do audio, sound, that was a challenge that I had not like adequately prepared for. And so that was my challenge. But I feel like the toughest one was the sleepy actors and like trying to cover for the scenes that we never got to shoot.
Yeah, I know about shooting with kids. I've been doing it a lot lately, and I'll tell you, it is really difficult. But I thought you did a great job, and your one daughter, she's moving her jaw, and she was such a tough lady. Like, I loved it. She was tough.
We wrote a scene in a moving car, which is a bad idea for almost like any logistically speaking, is not something you want to do most of the time, much less when you have an hour of sunlight left to get that shot. Really got to shout out to our DP for not only rising to that occasion, but basically taking out all the seats in the back seat and setting up lights and stuff. And then the way we ended up doing that was myself and the director were driving ahead in a lead car, and the actors were in the car behind us following us, and our director was watching their performance through my back window, and we were conference called in so he could watch and hear their performance. But yeah, I think that was trying to get that done. And then just half our team was nervous about it, half of it wasn't, about trying to build a hospital set. By the end of the day, the half that wasn't nervous ended up being correct, because I think it looked pretty good. But those were kind of challenges we threw at ourselves last minute, because obviously in today's day and age, you're not getting a hospital room to shoot. So yeah, just throwing some locational challenges. I think that those were our big challenges over the weekend.
Anyone else challenging any crazy challenges?
I think this was. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jen.
No, I'm sure mine wasn't even that important. What we did, and because it's my first 48, this might be something that you all do, but what we decided to do was write the night scene first. So we wrote the script, shot the night scene, so we wouldn't like waste a night. And by the end, that line where Chris Herrera, who's a really amazing actor, says, "How about noonish?" We all really felt that really hard because that was the last scene that we shot, and we were so tired at that point that we all wanted to get up the next day at noonish. So that was our part, was just combating tiredness.
Yeah, never easy. Okay, any other good stories about that?
I thought we had the easiest. This is the first year I could say, and I think it was because of COVID, because you had to cut down for everything. I thought it was probably the easiest 48 as far as like not, knock on wood. I didn't have really, I can't think, do we have any problems, Roger? No. It was like a small one here and there, but nothing like that was like, I was home early, we were done early, and I was able to just really focus on the film after it was all said and done with and stuff like that.
Yeah, you still had time to write a song.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now I'm unmuted. Great. So my last question for you, has this project, is it spawning out into something bigger, or do you have any more plans for this film that you've made about what you're going to do with it, or anything like that?
I hate to talk because I'm afraid I'm going to cut up some. Oh, I know I was going to cut off somebody. Sorry. I have a little bit of cleanup work because obviously after you submit it, you see 5 or 6 different things that you messed up. But I don't even know. I mean, I definitely can't put it on QED because we swear a lot. So it's definitely we're gonna try to hit some festivals, me and Christian, and I just want the actors to really get their glory because they worked so hard on this movie. So I want just people to watch it.
Hey, Jen, I didn't even notice any swearing in your film. Boy, I must either swear a lot or be really immune. I didn't even notice.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll say something. Yeah, sorry to jump in like that. Yeah, so we were all extremely happy with how this came out and just the efficiency of the team. Everybody meshed on my team, and I was so thankful for that. So we're actually doing a recurring thing. Well, we're going to do that exact same team that we brought together and start producing stuff month by month from now on from that. And with the current film that we're going to do, I mean, that'd be pretty sick to enter in some festivals and jazz. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah. We're in the same boat. I mean, we're going to, we're talking about sending it out to a few different festivals, but what it really spawned us into thinking is, you know, we could create something really great that we're proud of in a short amount of time. And we have some new ideas that we're working on, and we're going to try to execute them and use a lot of the same faces that you've seen in Schadenfreude. And so we're really looking forward to it. And it's given us, you know, a springboard of momentum, of enthusiasm into the next film. So look out. We're gonna put some more stuff out and have a great time with it. So yeah.
How about you, Alex? I know that you work with a lot of the same folks again and again. Will this project spin out to something else, or?
You're asking who?
I was asking Alex.
Can you hear
Alex,
me?
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this project, I don't know. We haven't really thought about this project very much, but we haven't really worked together, you know, in a bit. So I feel like this is a good like push for us, and we probably start to get working back together again, doing some more like short film stuff. I could see us doing some more stuff like that. Definitely.
Sweet. Anybody else? Lucas? Jason?
I could speak. I'll put my camera on there for you. Working with Al, within the past year or so, we've been kind of just offering up a little ideas, and he brought me into this. Yeah, I would absolutely love to continue working with him. He's just, he's got a vision. He's fun. He's professional. He knows every little nook and cranny of what needs done for that film, for the camera, for the sound. Same with Michael Ray, our sound guy. He was just absolutely professional. Really did a great professional job. So definitely would work with him again.
Sweet. All right, everybody. Well, we did it. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about or push before we wrap it up?
I just want to say thanks, PJ.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For the other filmmakers, for going about filmmaking during COVID-19. It's very different, but some things feel the same. So particularly with, I'd like to hear from a lot of people, but I am curious about Alan, your movie, where was that a super spreader event?
Sure. What's your question?
What were your COVID precautions? Because I know it came up in your writing, so I was like, okay, yeah, talking about COVID. So I feel like that played into the dark comedy of having so many people as actors without masks. But I'm also curious about everybody else's. I know, like Walter, it looks like you used your family, and I did hear from other people they were using family members.
Yeah, so we were all masked while we were shooting, and when the scenes were being shot, that was the only time there was no mask being worn. We were cleaning things and being as careful as we could. We filmed, we did get some audio and things that we could drop in where they weren't doing all the sounds. And, we flat out asked them, like, hey, if you're uncomfortable with anything, let's talk about it. We can rewrite the scene. And, we tried to make the best film that we could, as safe as we could. And it was interesting. It's a brand new thing that we're all navigating, and we're trying to do it the best that we can. And everybody felt, at least they've conveyed to me, or they felt safe enough to pull this off. And we took lots of breaks, and we filmed things where, like the walk-in scene, where people were separated. Around the dinner table was the closest, and even the pillow fight thing, but I think there was a lot of holding of breaths and things like that. So we tried the best we could. And, we've been checking on them afterwards, asking how everybody's feeling. And I don't know what else to do besides that, but we made the best film that we could in the safety measures that we took. So yeah, good question. Thank you.
Anybody else want to touch on that?
Yeah, I do, if you don't mind. One of the main actors was my daughter, so that was nice. And then, so there's 9 people on our crew, and then 4 of us actually have a class together in school where there's only 7 people in the class. So I knew, not that we were all safe, but we had spent, time with us. So there was only 2 people that that we hadn't seen on a day-to-day basis. And one of them was also, I'm immune compromised, and the other team leader, Christian Abbott, was also immune compromised. So we were very, very careful about making sure that everybody stayed safe. We wore masks right up until the time we filmed, and a lot of we purposely had a lot of our scenes outside, just so we could stay safe. Probably 3/4 of our movie were filmed outside, and we had that scene on the boat, so that was nice. They were way far away from us, so we stayed safe, but we had fun. And I wish my first 48 wasn't during COVID, but it was nice because I didn't have to drive anywhere to drop it off, so that was great.
Nice. Anybody else want to comment on their?
I wanted to, and then I think all of theirs was great.
Thanks, Mia.
Awesome. Well, great, everybody. Well, thank you so much for being part of this Filmmaker Talkback. I will take this and get this up on Facebook so that other people can see it. It'll also be encapsulated, so if other people experience the event through Eventive, they will see this as well as part of it. And then get ready, because in 20 minutes, Block B begins. So I encourage you all to check out Block B. Remember that the films are going to be live through Tuesday evening at 11 p.m. So if you happen to be working at a wedding all night tonight and couldn't watch the movies like Ben Wilson, you can catch them. You can catch them later on tonight. You can catch them tomorrow. Make sure you convince all of your people to watch the films as much as they can before 6 p.m. tomorrow night, because at 6 p.m. on Sunday evening, I will close the balloting for the Audience Choice Awards, so that at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, we can have our awards presentation. Mark Rupert will be joining us. He's the guy who started the 48 for the whole world. He's going to join us. Our judges will be with us to announce the top films. So you get a chance to interact with them a little bit. Should be a lovely thing. So I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. That is free. It's on Zoom and on Facebook Live. If you don't have the link, you can get the link off of the Pittsburgh 48 website. Although everybody who's in this Zoom session right now, I've emailed it to you directly. But we'll see you all tomorrow night. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you,
Thanks,
PJ.
Thank you,
Much
PJ.
appreciated, man.
Bye.
Take
Good
care.
luck,
Great job, everyone.
everybody. Good to see you all.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good night,
Congratulations.
everyone.